I'm going to talk to you today about pre-approval, why we've added it to DocSafe, what the purposes of pre-approval are, and how then to set up your staff members to force the pre-approval process. Now, pre-approval began from the simple premise that certain members of staff, and often more junior members or those who are on probation perhaps, weren't given the full access rights over the ability to display documents that they've uploaded to clients. Therefore, you would have a new member of staff who would then have to, for a certain period of time, or however long you decide, have to have all their activity pre-approved or sanctioned by a more senior member of staff before their activity was visible to a client. This activity involves uploading documents, asking documents for approval, and asking for documents to be approved plussed. So anything to do with signing or uploading can be held back in suspense and not allowed to be seen by a client until sanctioned by a more senior member of staff. So how do we go about this? Well, the first thing you need to do is to go to the company section of DocSafe and set up, first of all, a staff role with a specific name called pre-approvers. You'll see it on the screen now. If you're not familiar with staff roles, then simply look at the video that relates to it. But staff roles is it gives the ability to group or name staff members who have certain rights over the system. Once you've got a staff role called pre-approvers, you can then choose to apply that role to any senior members of staff who you wish to be pre-approvers, those people who can sign off or agree more juniors' work before it goes to the client. To do this, simply go back into your maintenance, find a member of staff in question, as I'm doing here, and in the roles section, simply add them as pre-approvers. Once you've added them as pre-approvers, they will be selectable by the junior member of staff when they are asking for the documents to be placed in. So that's stage one. So pick the senior members of staff who are qualified to be pre-approvers. The next stage is to go to the junior member of staff and apply the pre-approval sanction to them. And you do this by going to the staff member in question, and you'll notice there is a tick box at the very end of all the permission settings when you first set them up. Simply tick that box, and that named member of staff will then require pre-authorization or pre-approval before any of their activity is visible by the client. Save that, and you're on to the next stage. So what I've done now is I've actually logged in as the junior member of staff who requires their activity to be pre-approved. Now I've gone to do an upload, so you're familiar with this screen. And what you'll notice is that there's a new tab here called Pre-Approver. What the junior member of staff must do is pick a designated pre-approver to tell that the document is going up prior to them putting it in. And that would apply to all documents uploaded, documents requiring approval, or documents requiring approval plus. If we try and put a document in now without a pre-approver, the system will force the junior member of staff to pick one because they will not be allowed to put a document in without prior pre-approval. So what they have to do is pick one of the named people that you put on the list as pre-approvers, so I've done that, and then start the upload. The pre-approver will now receive two things: an email telling them that there is a document now in DocSafe waiting for their pre-approval, and that document will not be visible to the client until the pre-approver, who has now been emailed and also prompted within their DocSafe app, has gone in and selected that document as allowable and has been approved by them. So I've now logged back in as the more senior member of staff, and as you can see when I go to the client section, there is this prompt for me to agree a document that requires pre-approval. So I've had the email and now this prompt, and what I do is I look at the document, am I happy with it to go into the client account, and then I mark that as pre-approved. As soon as that's been pre-approved, it is now visible by the client, so it can be signed or accessed by the client.